What's going on, everybody? It's Ryan Turley here. Thanks so much for checking out this video. If you're new here, consider subscribing to my channel if you end up enjoying this content. So today, I'm gonna show you how to make the most amazing smoked spatchcock chicken. I've probably made a couple dozen of these in the past year during quarantine, and I think I've perfected it. So stick around, it only takes a few steps, and I'm gonna show you exactly how to get it done right now. So if you're not familiar with the term spatchcock, what that is I'm gonna be removing the spine from this bird using a pair of kitchen shears, and then I'll be laying that bird out bone side down so that all the meat is facing up and getting all of that smoke flavor. It provides for a more even cook, and it's pretty fun, so let's do it. So be really careful while you are opening the chicken out of the bag. You just don't want all those juices spilling everywhere throughout your kitchen. I've got my garbage placed right down here so that I can dispose of any of the chicken parts or the bag immediately. And we're gonna pat this bird dry. Now, I generally don't rinse any of my meat before preparing it. You're basically just opening your kitchen up to foodborne bacteria, and you're gonna be cooking this to a safe temperature, so there's really no need to wash your meat. All right, so here is the back of the chicken. You can see the neck here, the backbone, and the tail, and we're gonna be removing this entire section. All right, and I suggest saving all of your chicken bones for stock, and that's what I'm gonna do today. And if you find any loose skin or fat that's kind of hanging off the tail end here, I suggest taking that off as well. All right, and there is a breastplate right here that we are gonna wanna crack so that this bird can lay flat when we flip it over. And to make it a little easier, I like to make a little cut right here. And then just press down on that bird, it's ready to go. Now, normally I prepare my birds a day before smoking and do a wet brine. But today, we're just gonna do a dry brine with kosher salt and let it sit out in the fridge for a few hours uncovered before smoking, and that's gonna help crisp up the skin. So I'm just gonna apply a healthy amount of kosher salt here to the underside. And what this dry brine is gonna do is it's gonna pull moisture out of the bird and create a brine from its own juices. And then from there, those juices are gonna get reabsorbed back into the chicken and keeping that bird super moist, super tender, and providing some great flavor throughout every bite. We're also gonna separate the skin here from the breasts very carefully, and we're gonna throw some salt in there as well. All right, let's throw this in the fridge uncovered for a few hours before we cook it. All right, and I just cut up some more splits. If you're interested in learning more about preparation with your splits and firewood, hit me up in the comments and let me know. But we are gonna throw on a larger piece now just to get a nice coal bed going. And I am not gonna close this firebox door until this wood has caught and most of this white smoke has dissipated. All right, the grill's heating up. I just pulled the chicken out of the fridge. So I've seasoned a whole chicken a ton of different ways. And let me tell you, what I'm about to show you is my absolute favorite method. It's super simple. All it takes is equal parts room temperature butter, olive oil, and your rub. So you're basically gonna create a paste out of those three items, and then you're gonna rub that entire bird down. And I'm so excited to share this with you guys. This is the newest flavor from Spanglish Asadero, my favorite rub company. We're working with Hatch Chile Verde. There's definitely some kick to this, so if you like spice, give it a shot. I'm gonna post a link in the description of this video with a discount code that you can use to try this out for yourself. So I went with about 2 tablespoons of each olive oil, butter, and rub, and then you're just gonna mix that all together and make that paste. And this is about the consistency we're looking for. All right, so I'm gonna start just by peeling back as much skin as I can from all directions of this bird. And this is just gonna provide better flavor on my entire chicken. This side's looking really good. You can take these thighs, and right here, there's usually a little gap that you can just get your fingers worked in there all the way up through the legs as well. And you can get rub all in that leg and thigh. So I'm gonna get under the skin first. Just give a nice coating in there. Just rub that in. Thighs and legs. And then we'll use the rest of this on the top. All right, and we're gonna let that rub settle in for about 15 to 30 minutes while that smoker comes to temp. Boom, clean hands. And I am, just for good measure, gonna throw a little bit of this rub back on the top of the chicken, just for extra flavor. All right, our temperature has stabilized and we're running right at about 250, 275 degrees on the top thermometer. So down on the cooking level, I'm gonna be cooking at about 225 to 250 today. Basically what we're going here is a low and slow cook during the first section of this, just to get as much smoke flavor on this chicken. And since chicken is gonna cook a lot faster than say a pork butt or brisket, we wanna keep that temperature super low just so we can get that maximum flavor on this bird. All right, and I'm positioning the thighs and the legs towards the heat source because I want those to finish first, and I also want those to come up to a higher temperature because for me, I like my thighs and legs to come up to about 175 degrees, or I want my breast to be right at that 155, 160 temperature. I generally don't cook my breast all the way to 165. I find I get much more moisture and tenderness when I bring it up to that 155, 160 zone. As you can see, we are running right above 250 degrees on this upper thermometer, and we're gonna let that go for about an hour and check in on it and see where our temps are at. All right, I don't think I mentioned this, but I'm running citrus wood today. I find that I really like this hardwood. It has a mild smoke flavor and it holds temp really well. And as you can see, we are running a super clean fire right now. Barely any white smoke coming out of there. So it's basically all clear blue smoke, and that's what we're looking for. Just over 250 degrees, so I'm sure where my meat is, we're right at about 225 or just below. So I'm gonna add another split here that we've been preheating. Let's see how we're doing here in the leg. About 130, maybe 135, running about 140 in the thigh, and then that breast, we're about 130. 130 over on the other breast. This is looking so good. We're gonna crank that heat in just a little bit to 350 degrees, maybe close to 400, just to get that crispy skin. All right, so the chicken is finished. It's at about 160 in the breast and about 170, 175 in the thighs and legs. Look at those juices. This chicken looks incredible. The skin is super crispy. It cooked to a perfect temperature. And I made some Spanish rice and guacamole with this. So I'm gonna leave the recipe for both of these side dishes in the description below. So let's cut into it and see how we did. Well, it cuts like butter. Ooh, look at those juices. unreal. That Spanglish Asadero Hatch Chile Verde seasoning is amazing. It's not too spicy, but it has an incredible flavor. Let's try this breast again. So tender, so juicy. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to smash that like button and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I usually post videos once or twice a week, so turn on that notification bell so that you don't miss another upload. Anyways, if you have any questions about this cook or you want to make some suggestions about what I should cook next, let me know in the comments below and we'll catch you in the next one. Thanks so much. Peace.